Have you ever wondered if there's a higher purpose to people getting drunk together? This next title may leave you smirking, but once you dive in, you'll be amazed how much we humans have gained by getting hammered. Welcome to Audiobook Reviews in 5. This is Yana, also known as Jana. In today's episode, I'm reviewing Drunk, How We Sipped, Danced, and Stumbled Our Way to Civilization by Edward Slingerland, read by Tom Parks. Distinguished university scholar and professor of philosophy Edward Slingerland makes a bold claim in his new book in that overall and over the course of history, alcohol has produced net positive benefits for both individuals and cultures. Otherwise, our taste for it would have been eliminated by genetic or cultural evolution, given its heavy costs. We would not have civilization without intoxication, he says, because alcohol provides the necessary lubrication to our complex social needs. In Slingerland's words, it is no accident that, in the brutal competition of cultural groups from which civilizations emerged, it is the drinkers, smokers, and trippers who emerged triumphant. In this wonderfully entertaining and informative listen, Slingerland shows us that, in fact, intoxication helps solve a number of distinctively human challenges, enhancing creativity, alleviating stress, building trust, and pulling off the miracle of getting fiercely tribal primates to cooperate with strangers. Our desire to get drunk, along with the individual and social benefits provided by drunkenness, played a crucial role in sparking the rise of the first large-scale societies. Of course, there are significant social and health costs associated with drinking, which Slingerland also acknowledges and illustrates with data and historic references. He acknowledges the mountain of evidence about the harm caused by alcohol, but makes it clear he's offering an alternative perspective, which may divide his audience. Chances are you personally know someone who has suffered from the drawbacks of alcohol consumption, and Slingerland highlights two primary danger zones of modern drinking. The first is the availability of distilled liquors, which are easier to consume far past the point of sociability. For most of human history, alcohol wasn't so potent or easy to procure. The second point, illustrated by the contrast between Southern and Northern European drinking cultures, is our increased tendency towards solitary or unsupervised drinking. And while group drinking has its dark side, think frat house culture, the benefits of intoxication Slingerland emphasizes wholly derive from communal and social settings. We tend to trust those who drink with us, and we're suspicious of those who won't imbibe. In fact, water drinker was an insult in ancient times, and these sentiments are complicated by religion and modern culture. However, it does explain some of the social pressure that persists in groups drinking together. Slingerland wrote this book during the pandemic and notes how our inclinations toward replacing community and workplace interactions via video conferencing don't transmit the benefits of conversation over drinks. He credits the building of a new pub on the grounds of the University of British Columbia, where he lectures, with the conversations that led up to numerous articles and research initiatives. With examples like these, he makes a compelling argument that communal alcohol consumption in person is a key driver of cultural innovation, since it produces a childlike state of mind in adults by temporarily taking the prefrontal cortex offline. Slingerland provides good arguments for why other intoxicants haven't yet taken over the role of alcohol for various reasons, whether it's that they are difficult to dose accurately or don't lend themselves to socializing quite as well. But he concedes it's possible that with increasing legalization, decriminalization, and dose standardization of cannabis and psilocybin, for example, we could see these take on a more social use. What surprises me most after having time to reflect on this book is that so little on this topic has been published in popular media. Any positive messaging about alcohol is rare and tends toward its purported health benefits, with little or no regard toward the social advantages. Perhaps this is because I live in North America, where the legacy of Puritan and prohibitionist attitudes are still very much part of the culture. But there's hope for progress. The relatively recent trend toward cannabis legalization and psychedelic enthusiasts like Michael Pollan have opened more minds to the virtues of getting blitzed, or even just slightly buzzed. It's also a clear winner in the feel-good infotainment category, even from a reviewer perspective. Consider Zoe Lescaze's New York Times review titled A History of Getting Hammered and Why Some of Us Should Keep Doing It. Tom Park's narration is good, but a bit slow, so I listened to this audiobook on a slightly increased speed. That said, I appreciate the extensive PDF included with my Audible purchase, which includes many helpful photos and charts for illustration. Slingerland's delight in his subject makes this an entertaining and informative listen, and you'll be sure to score a few fascinating tidbits to spark conversation at your next trip to the pub or dinner party. That's all for this episode of Audiobook Reviews in 5. Thanks for listening. If you have not yet done so, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to Audiobook Reviews in 5 on Anchor, Apple, Spotify, and many others. By subscribing, you help increase the profile of this podcast and chances of other listeners finding it. I look forward to checking in with you all again soon. Please stay safe and be well.